Hi friends, it's Betsy. Welcome back to M.E. My Hook and I, the show where I talk about yarn, crochet, my illness, M.E., which is myalgic encephalomyelitis, and postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And it's been a week. I think I say that every time, but it really has been a week. We endured the remnants of Hurricane Zeta. She was a tropical storm as she rolled through Atlanta last night. And yeah, weather affects me a lot, and I have been in a lot of pain this week and not felt like filming. So I'm going to include some footage. Fortunately, we are all okay here. We did have a tree go down in our backyard. I'll show that towards the end of the video as an aside. If anybody wants to stick around, we're all safe. Thank goodness. My brother and sister-in-law, who also live in the area, are safe, and so are my uncles. So I have a lot of family around me, and we're thankful that everybody is okay. But the weather triggered a migraine for my husband and a lot of widespread pain for me, and nobody got a lot of sleep last night. Fortunately, I was able to get a really long nap this afternoon, so I feel like recording tonight, and we will see when this gets edited and posted. So today I have a couple happy mails that have come in for the October Crochet for Good, which was collecting winter items and toiletry items and blankets for Must Ministries. It ends October 31st, technically, but I'm going to extend it to around the first week of November because stuff is coming in, and I know the post office has been kind of slow lately. So I'm not going to do the giveaway until a little like after the first week of November. If you are sending me anything for Crochet for Good and it's coming and it's on its way and you want me to know before I draw for the giveaway, please put it in the comments or email me at memyhookandi@gmail.com. All my other contact information, the P.O. box to send your donations, etc., will be in the comments. But let's start with some, speaking of things that I need to know in the comments, I got a huge box of these beautiful soap savers. Do you see this box? It is completely full. Unfortunately, I have no idea who sent it. So I'm really digging the pattern. They said, I got a little note on the top here, and I have dug through the box, but maybe I'll dig through it again. It says the pattern for these soap savers. Ooh, I got too much around me. Okay, it says the pattern for these soap savers. See little bobble stitches? I'm in love with these. Like I almost want to remake the one that I did for my aunt to look like these, because these little bobble stitches are so pretty. I'll see if I can find, there are lots of different ones. The only thing it said was textured soap savers by Goddess Crochet with a tweak to the drawstring. Hope these help. So the pattern is from Goddess Crochet. I don't think these were sent by Goddess Crochet. I went and checked out all of her social media things. I'd be really surprised if she was the one that was actually sending me these, but there are a lot of pink ones. And then there is a nice gray one, some red, white, and blue ones. We've got some blue and gray ones, and they all feel like they've been pre-washed. They're all super soft. These ones are really pretty. You see those bobble stitches now? This is going to be my favorite soap saver pattern from here on out. But yeah, there's I mean, tons. Thank you. Whoever sent these, they are going to love these. This is especially good for, you know, people who don't have a lot of room, who are on the streets, who need soap and a washcloth and don't have, you know, a lot of, can't be carrying a ton of stuff around for them. So they will love these. I'm trying to show all your beautiful handiwork because whoever you are, these are amazing. And I'm so incredibly grateful. I mean, this box was filled to the brim. Unfortunately, they covered up the, it looks like whoever sent it to me, they covered up your return address with the label. And your return address is not on the postage label. So they will get to where they need to go, but I would love to include you in my giveaway and give you a proper thank you for all your lovely work. So if this is you, thank you, and let me know in the comments or send me an email or whatnot. I know I have more things coming, which is why I'm extending the deadline for this. And then we have, I believe I counted these earlier. I think there were 7 of them. I'll have to count them again. These are from another viewer named Starla. And I think her screen name is just Star Brown. If you see her haunting the comments, she made some lovely hats. Some of these look more beret-ish, which is really cool. I like that a lot. So clearly she held double threads on this one, white and red. So that's more of a beret style. And then this one too has more of a rounded top. Lovely. So that's number 2. And then we've got brown and white. That's your classic beanie. Look at that, the pretty stitch work. I just love seeing what you guys have made. They're gonna love this. This is another one that, well, I don't know, maybe this one actually is a toboggan, I think. Well, maybe, I don't know. It's a little round. But these are actually really perfect for our weather down here. Because it feels like most of them are acrylic, and you know, a lot of this stitching and stuff, we don't need super heavy hats, but we do need some hats. So these are perfect. So thank you, Starla. These came like a week ago, and I had not been able to show them yet. I think one must have fallen out. Maybe not. I thought there were 7, and I only showed you 5. I might be sitting on one. Sorry. Anyway, maybe I counted wrong the first day. Could have. So those are the donations so far for the October Crochet for Good. I will try to remember to put all the requirements in the box below. So if you happen to have anything that we can use hanging around, feel free to send it. I will say November and December, they turn heavily into their toy drive part of the year. And then some of the other organizations that I would work for donations are not accepting them right now due to COVID. So we might take a break on donations for November and December, because if you are like me, you're probably still finishing up your Christmas gifts, and maybe we'll pick it back up in the new year. Okay, what else are we doing right now? Works in progress. I have quite a few works in progress right now. Oh, and I have some finished objects too. This is going to be a sweater. Oh wait, I should say, I don't think my mother-in-law watches my videos, but Nancy, if you're watching, like, turn it off, okay? Unless you want to see. Yeah, so I'm making her, it is going to be, if I can remember, I'll put a picture, but sometimes I'm not very good at remembering to put the picture in, for the Great Canadian Cardigan. It is a short sleeve cardigan, and I'm making it out of a latte cake. And I'm loving the blues in this latte cake. Like that would not normally be the color that I would make for myself, but I am considering it. So at this point, this is actually going to end up being the part that goes over your shoulders and your neck. This is the wonkiest pattern I've ever seen. It's by MJ. Well, okay, I don't really understand who it's by because it's credited in one place to MJ's Off the Hook design, but the pattern says Century Box Designs, and then it said if you had questions. Anyway, I don't quite understand their branding. I had some questions about it in their Facebook group, and I didn't get a response, although this is an older pattern, so I don't know if I even asked the question in the right place. So I'm a little confused exactly who it's by, but I will link the pattern below because I think it's going to be a great cardigan. However, this I think goes over your shoulders, and where I've got this marking my stitch, you start the back panel of the cardigan, and then somehow you attach sleeves later. It doesn't go together like your typical sweater that I mean, well, okay, let's be 100% honest, people. This is my first time this year really getting into garments because I used to sew a lot of garments, and that's the other thing is my brain is like, if this were a fabric pattern, these pattern pieces would be clearly labeled, and anyway, I think they're coming from a different direction. And yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's been a bit of a challenge for me personally, because if I were making it out of fabric, this would be a weird way to put it together, I think. But when you're making your own fabric, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying I also have cognitive issues. For reals. So it absolutely 100% could be me, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end because I think it's going to be really soft and really beautiful. But I had to stop because my mother-in-law is currently here in the house helping to teach my, those of you that have been following my channel know that I'm not well enough to teach my daughter. My husband is the full-time worker. You know, everybody's all messed up right now. So we are fortunate enough that my mom and my mother-in-law take turns because they are both retired school teachers teaching my daughter. So it's my mother-in-law's slot this week, so I'm setting it aside so she doesn't see me. But speaking of people who are gone this week, my caregiver, I should have had this out, I'm sorry. I don't think, Lori, I don't think you watch these either, but if you do, turn it off because I'm about to show you a Christmas present. So my caregiver, Lori, is on vacation this week. So she's missed all kinds of excitement at home, but she is in Colorado Springs and sounds like they're having quite the winter storm. So I haven't actually, bugged her on vacation, but I've looked at the weather. So I made her these fingerless gloves. Now I made a medium/large size, which is why they look so big on my tiny hands, because she is very, very tall and has much bigger hands than me. So I thought she would need these. This is the pattern from Vicki Howell's Yarn Yay box. I want to say 6 months ago, maybe, when she had the mini skeins of the Mad Tosh in it. But I liked the pattern, especially for warmer weather here, where you can just slip these on. You don't necessarily need fingers or finger holes. So I made her, this is out of the Mary Maxim sock yarn that I got in my last Mary Maxim order, and I loved the way that it did this kind of spiral pattern until I had to go do the back and forth for the thumb. But actually I don't hate that either. I think it's an interesting texture. And then I made her a ear warmer she is not a scarf person, but she wears her hair up in a ponytail a lot, so I thought this would be perfect for her. So that's for my caregiver for Christmas. If you're new to my channel, I'm doing 100% handmade Christmas for everybody except for basically what my daughter will get for Santa Claus. So this is going to go to my caregiver. My other finished object, I think I may have shown, but I got so behind with videos and editing that I don't know if I ever did. So first I made him, I think I talked about this pattern. I made him a mitten for the one hand, and he is left-handed. And so I think that I usually hold my drink in my dominant hand. We're going for that because I made him a Tennessee koozie. I have to finish sewing this on, but anyway, here's his little power tee. You can stick his. I think I may have shown this because I think I've talked about how he is a beer connoisseur, so a must-have for a Tennessee fan. So I finished that. I think that's all my finished objects. I did place an ice order because I got suggested a new channel because, you know, I follow like 50,000 different crochet channels. This is my stitch shirt. Shout out to Cinnamon Stitches. It says not lazy hashtag energy saving. Because aggressive rest therapy is kind of a joke between me and my ME friends. I'm like, Stitch is my spirit animal because I'm all the time having to rest. Anyway, I went off on a tangent. Creating Kelsea is this new channel that I found. I think her channel is probably about as old as my channel. So she's got a decent amount of videos out, one of which was a really great ice haul. She has a couple good ice hauls. It looks like she orders every couple months, and I ended up placing another ice haul because she did, and it's another MJ's Off the Hook Designs, which may or may not be the same pattern designer as the Cardi, but I will put it in the description. She has video tutorials that go with this, but again, I seriously have cognitive brain issues that are measurable. So don't take my review of her pattern like as for the cardigan as like an offensive thing. I legitimately could have something wrong with my brain's ability to understand it. I'm not bashing anybody. In fact, I'm buying another one of her patterns, which is for mermaid tails, and Kelsea made it out of some of the Picasso yarn from Ice, which, if you remember, that's what I made my Just Feel festive shawl out of. So I have 4 balls of this left over, and I thought that would make a super awesome mermaid tail for my nieces. And the pattern calls for this doubled with a white metallic yarn to give it some sparkle. So I had to go to Hobby Lobby so I could go ahead and get started, but I also had to order more of this from Ice, and I got a different color for my daughter too. I'll let her pick which one she wants. It might be better that my nieces get 2 different colors actually, so they don't fight over it. Anyway, so you hold these double together and it measures like a bulky pattern, and God, you can still hear the wind outside. That's left over from Tropical Storm Zeta. Anyway, so I'm excited to start on this. That'll be a mermaid tail for them. And I will have an ice haul next week if all goes according to plan and it makes it through customs and gets here in time and all that jazz. And while I was in Hobby Lobby, I want to start doing, people have been asking me for a long time to put some of my crochet goods in an Etsy shop, and I'm afraid that if I start putting crochet in my Etsy shop, it's going to start feeling like work and not be a like it's an anxiety meditative relieving thing for me. but I love making hats. And so I got myself a little head like everybody has to model some hats. They look like we're similar to the same size. Anyway, at Hobby Lobby today. And because the yarn was 30% off, which is why I went to get this sparkly yarn for the mermaid tails. And I know I have an ice order coming. I know it, guys. I shouldn't have done this. But they have so much new yarn at Hobby Lobby. And this has a copper metallic streak in it. And it looks on this skein like it's just green, right? Oh, no, my dears. Look, it's got oranges and reds and blues. But also, where'd the other skein go? Oh, I left the other skein. Hang on one second. This is worth it. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, look at the purples. I mean, I had to get it. I did. It was the only two skeins they had left. I plan on making myself a shawlette out of it. Once I finally somehow finish all the Christmas presents that I'm going to make. And I was going to make finger puppets for my nieces, and I just decided, of course, I needed to do something more complicated, like mermaid tails. So I'll never make myself a sweater. No, I got other yarn things for myself in the ice order. So eventually I will. Anyway, I can't, oh my gosh, I have to show you that again. I didn't tell you anything about it. It is Yarn Bees Dazzling, and I didn't even see that till I got home. And that's copper colored metallic. And actually, I just love the greens. I kind of wish it didn't have the middle, but whatevs. I'm willing to try it out. It says there's 249 yards, 98% acrylic. That's the other thing, is this is a lot softer than I thought it was going to be for having a metallic thread in it. I was like, ooh, I could have that around. And it says 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I cannot find, the color is Cyber Soul. But that looks a lot like a number 4 yarn to me. I would probably use a 4.5 millimeter. Because this is not a roving. It's pretty much like that everywhere. So anyway, it kind of almost looks like a Z twist, but I'm having a hard time identifying that on other yarns, and a lot of the other yarns that are Z twists aren't saying that. And if you haven't ever heard of Z twist, it's yarn that's twisted in the opposite direction as it normally is, that's supposed to unravel less when you crochet. So we'll see. It'll be a while before I get to use this because Christmas. And the other thing that I got at Hobby Lobby, I have never used a knitting loom. I cannot knit whatsoever, but I've heard that they're kind of fast, and my daughter really wants to learn to crochet, but she's having trouble learning tension on her yarn and stuff. So I thought maybe I could teach her to use this, and maybe she'd have at least a yarn victory to not want to give up on it altogether. So this was $15.99, and it came with a loom hook. Here, let me undo it. I priced these in various places before I bought it, and Michael's had one that was 20 bucks, so you would have had to have used a coupon. Anyway, this one was $15.99, and I used a 40% off coupon. And it came with the hook and some yarn needles and some peg caps. But since we are both going to do this and there are multiple looms, I got a spare hook for my daughter, so she can work on one loom and I can work on the other. So this was by Yarnology. anybody knows any good loom knitting tutorials, I have never done it. Help a sister out. Tell me in the comments. And then during one of Zelda NRJ3, if y'all know Z, she did the Just Feel Festive crochet along for her birthday, and somebody got her, I think it was by Naughty Knitting Sacks, who is actually incoming, which is not very far from me, making what she called a yarn condom. I'm very careful what I search on my computer, since my husband and I share a computer sometimes. He's a pastor, and you don't want to type something in that's going to trigger an ad for something else, and a kid in the youth group comes up and is like, oh, pastor, what's that ad for? Anyway, y'all, it happens. So I'm going to call it a yarn sock. And basically, it was a piece of knit fabric that went around the skein to hold the skein together, and since it's knit fabric and it stretches, as the yarn ball collapses, the sock or condom that goes over it holds your yarn ball together. So I got, this is some knit mermaid fabric, if you're noticing a trend. It was on clearance. So I got some to try, and if it works out, and I also got this beautiful print, which is super soft. I have a serger, so I could whip these up fairly quickly and finish the edges on my serger. So I was hoping to eventually offer these in my Etsy shop. So I got some fabric while I was at Hobby Lobby. Quite the trip, I have to say. Because also it was like super quick run in, run out, because my mother-in-law and my daughter were in the car. So I'm kind of proud of myself for grabbing all this stuff. I forgot my favorite work in progress right now that I switched to. So when I learned that I couldn't, that I needed to put away my sweater for my mother-in-law so she didn't see, I started working on my brother's Yoda. So way back a couple months ago, a month or two ago maybe, you'll see I have a Yoda in a lime green, but we liked this color a little better, so we're trying it right now. So that's his head and his eyes and his one little leg. So I lack arms, ears, and his cloak, which is made out of burlap blanket and burlap pipsqueak yarn. I'll try to remember to link that below so you can see it. The first one I made went to a neighbor friend of mine, of our family actually, for her birthday. And I'm making one for my 38-year-old brother because it is so stinking adorable and he loves Star Wars. And after that, I have to make a third one for my kids. So there you go. I'll be making Yodas forever, but that's okay. It's a super fun pattern. I really enjoy it. It is the Bear Cub pattern from Crafty is Cool. And I will try to link that pattern below in the description. All right. That was a lot. I'm tired now. I mean, let's be honest, I was tired before this. I hope you and yours are safe. It sounds like there is crazy weather all over the United States right now. Out west, our friends in Amarillo are iced over right now. We lived in Amarillo for like 5 years. Yeah, so be safe out there, guys. And now for those of you who are interested in my run to the post office today, I did a little videoing of our neighborhood, some of the damage we had in our backyard, a steeple that blowed over off, like hanging off the church across from the post office. That was wild looking. So I'm going to insert that footage at the end of this video here. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button for me. It really helps my channel. If you like this video, please like it. That also tells YouTube that my channel is worth suggesting to other people, or my video. And if you want to stick around for the storm footage, let's roll whatever, B-roll. I don't know. I'll see you guys next time. So as you can see, we have a lot of trees in our backyard. There's Steven. That was a diseased tree, and we are so glad it fell that direction. Apparently this morning this had drifted over in front of the door. I mean, I don't know, it just didn't register to us to secure things that this was going to be a thing, so yeah. Anyway, it's back where it usually sits. Doesn't look worse for the wear, so. Alright. So, as you can see, there are lots of pine needles. That's the big threat when it storms here, is the fact that we have these really tall, thin pine trees everywhere. And they generally don't do so hot in the wind. But looks like most of our neighbors fared pretty good compared to other parts of the city, so that's something to be thankful for. Ooh, still windy. Slide down the hill. She goes.
Go fast and cut it.
Yeah, I'd probably cut some donuts. So this is more in line with what we heard last night. Holy moly. We were just on our way back from the post office, and we both went, oh no, that's not good. So pray for that, church. Whew.